The 9 that is remaining, the challenge that we are having here is that the family members have indicated to us that some of them do not have, actually the 9 of them do not have the documentation to can come to the country. So we are going to meet each other halfway, taking that album to the border gate where both the authorities of Limpopo and Zimbabwe will have to look into with those families on the other side. Once they can be able to identify them on the picture, then we will expect the Zimbabwean authorities to assist the relatives to be able to find way in a legal way to get to the province. So on Monday there will be the next step, which will be the formal viewing of the bodies, because even though you would have identified using the pictures, there must be that process of formal viewing. We must also have another step where we will be starting through our victim identification unit, where you are going to be taking the fingerprints. So from the fingerprints that we are taking as South African of the whole 43, we will be able to now give the data to both the Malawians and Zimbabwean counterparts, who will run through their own systems and be able to now verify it. It has not been an easy task, given the challenges that you have already explained. But what we can update the people of this country is that up to so far 34 human remains have now been identified. That is the latest that we can give you. What we have done as the provincial government, because we understood the complexity, we have been able to take the pictures of all the remains of the deceased, and they are there in our album in Chirizini Hospital, where we made a clarion call for families to come, and based on those pictures, if they are able to identify, because the positive thing here is that the bodies have been, or the human remains have been preserved. They have not been severely damaged as compared to other incidents where unfortunately you can't even identify them with the naked eye. Regarding these ones, we can identify them using our naked eyes. So 34 have been
medication and medicines are being taken out of our country to another country, and how those medicines are across the border. It talks to the fact that there could be the borders are porous, because how are they not detected when they cross the border? I was speaking to her just now, and she was telling me that she's quite concerned because this has an impact, negative impact on our people here, the public, those who are seeking medication. They go to public facilities and they don't get medication, and she expressed grave concern on that.
Lutendo Boboti, thanks so much for that, and hopefully at later crossing on one of the other shows we can look into just the amount of ARVs that were found at that crash scene.
Yes, I think having been on the scene after the crash, first thing in the morning, yes, we did, as the Limpopo provincial government, the fortunate part of it, I was with also the MEC for Health and other members of the Executive Council. The MEC for Health has seen for herself that indeed there were some of those medication. But however, what we appeal to South Africans, for us, even when we saw that and when we realized that it is regrettable and disheartening and it can anger many of us, what was critical at that time was to say there are lives here at stake. We have already lost at that time 42. Now can we help this remaining 43 9 and save their lives. That is our priority. And unfortunately, one of them later demised. So they needed urgent medical attention, which we did, and we focus on that. And secondly, we're saying when you are in an emergency or an accident scene, while the first thing it would be to look at the survivors and transport them to the nearest medical facility, which we have done. The second one will be to retrieve the remains of those who have perished, so that because if you allow them to stay for some few hours with that heat, the body can start to decompose, and then it will even give us much more problems. So we were focusing on those. And then we say, now after doing that, we handed over the scene to the police. The police now are busy investigating, and part of the investigations, we were very clear to them to say it will be also those medications, to say how did they end up where they are and what has happened, where are they coming from. So until such time, it will be difficult for us to really comment to say the medication is coming from where. But it is, of course, I agree with the minister that this is regrettable and disappointing, but that doesn't mean that we should allow even other lives. So there are children here as young as 4 months old babies who are innocent and who we need to rescue and save their lives. And we are proud of Team Limpopo, whether it's EMS, whether it's South African Police Service, whether it's Forensic Department, whether it's Traffic Department, and including our members of Executive Council, because as a team, collectively, we have been able to act within our competency to save the lives that needed to be saved at that time. And we will continue to support the families now by making sure that they find closure by the repatriation, and the repatriation can be done once the bodies are positively identified. So lastly is that on Monday, we are expecting all the family members, so that there could be the formal body viewing, because currently we are doing other ways of trying to identify. There will be formal body viewings at Chirizini Regional Hospital in the Vembe district. That is where it will be happening.
I come here, first I wanted to, on Saturday, I come here and with my brother and with his wife, to take a bus from here to going to Malawi. And the other people, but we said that as we hear that bus we have only people, we like that bus is 61 people, passengers. According to now, we're hearing that those people is 90-something people, which means that the bus is now is overload. I come here with the other people to want to confirm how is it going on and where is it now. According to the numbers, it's a lot of numbers. First time we're hearing that one children is only that one. Now we hear that only 7 children. 17 is a man. 18 is a woman. According now, we see it's a lot of people. I think deceased.
What's happening? Has anyone informed you about your brother exactly? Like what's happening with your brother? Have you tried to contact him?
I tried to contact him to my brother since from morning, from yesterday, by 7:30, because we talk with my brother only 4:30. Since from 4:30 until up to now, we are not talking with my brother. I try that time I hear that 7:30 the bus will make accident to Limpopo. I try to phone it, but phone is not pick up. Just phone are calling, no anyone to pick up the phone. To send a message, no anyone to answer. His wife or my brother, nothing, no anyone to answer according to his phone.
Now, tell me, what's the reaction, what's the bus company telling you? Because you've come here to inquire what's going on or what happened and whether your brother is confirmed deceased or whether or not he's seriously injured. What's the bus company saying?
The bus company, he said that he is still waiting full information from to the hospitals. Because I tried to ask it, maybe we can give us information, but he said no. As also now, also those people, we don't have full information. Just waiting for premiere on that Limpopo and the full information from the hospital. It's the disease. How many people are deceased? How many people are injured? Yeah.
So you're waiting for confirmation for your brother and your wife, and how is the family feeling in Malawi right now?
Now, according to Malawi, my family, my parents, my families are not feeling well because, accident, according to that bus, to show that bus is not, it's not good.
So I saw this video of where a bus carrying Zimbabweans, Mozambique, an accident, and a lot of were lost. Some were critically injured that they were rushed to the hospital. When I saw this video, it was really heartbreaking, it was really touching because lives were lost. And I entered the comment section, and the kind of comments that South Africans, I wouldn't say all, that some South Africans were putting in the comment section were really heartbreaking. It was really heartbreaking that you would ask yourself, where do some South Africans think from? Someone actually said, since you people don't want to live alive, thank God this happened. Someone said, look at how their bags are scattered. If you open it and check, is our ARVs, is our medication that they are taking to their country, that they want to take back to their country. Even saying Viva Dudula. So when I come online and see some South African comments and go offline, because I have most South Africans around, and see the way some of them behave offline, I'll be like, are there two types of South Africans? Because most of the ones online, I don't know how they think or behave. The ones offline are the ones making more sense. Almost 40-something people lost their life. No one said RIP, oh, it's a pity, oh, this, or that. They were concerned about their ARVs, medications, and leaving their country. It's just a pity.
Sometimes I really wonder what happened to empathy. Over 40 lives gone, children, mothers, fathers gone in seconds, families still waiting for calls that will never come. And the first thing you think about is passports. No, bruh. These were not just passengers, these were people. People with dreams, with laughter, with families, praying they'd arrive safely. Some were finally going home after years away. Some were sending money every month just to make sure someone ate. Some had little kids waiting by the gate saying, Mama is coming home. And now it's silent. Yet you talk about passports. This is the problem, man. We have lost touch with our hearts. We scroll past the pain like it's a meme. We have forgotten how to feel. In Africa, we were raised in Ubuntu. I am because we are. Your pain is my pain. Your loss is my loss. But now it's like everyone's just watching from a distance. Before borders, before flags, before passports, we were people first. Let's not lose our Ubuntu over likes and comments. May the souls of the departed rest in peace, and may we, the living, remember to still be human.
This is a cough mixture called Bronclear. It's manufactured by a company called Adcock Ingram, and it contains a dangerous drug that's called codeine. For those of you that are hip-hop heads, you've heard hip-hop artists like Lil Wayne talking about codeine, and you've seen them taking cough mixture that contains codeine and putting it into their whiskey or into their drinks in order to get high. Now, Zimbabweans, being students of STEM, they understand that there is codeine in here, and so they've been importing this product, buying it from Adcock Ingram, buying it from wholesalers in South Africa, and smuggling it into Zimbabwe in order to give it to Zimbabwean youth who are mixing it with their drink or taking it straight in order to get high. It's not true that this product is being taken from public hospitals in South Africa and being taken to Zimbabwe, because public hospitals do not sell this product and they have generic brands that do not contain codeine.
Transport Minister Barbara Creasy has confirmed that speeding and overloading caused the Limpopo bus crash. 42 people have died and scores injured after the bus veered off an embankment. It was approved to carry 60 passengers, but was transporting 91. None of the 3 drivers on the bus survived, making investigations difficult. ENC reporter Nabila Sheikh is on the story for us and coming to us now this morning from Limpopo just to give us the latest. Good morning, Nabila. Just wrap it up for us. What is the latest you can tell us about the ongoing investigation now that we know that overloading and speeding are said to have been behind the crashes and many other people are still hospitalized?
Yes, brother, and so we were actually visiting some of those patients last night, and we are going to be returning to these hospitals this morning to check up on how they are doing. The consular services from both Malawi and Zimbabwe are going to be on the ground today to assist these patients, and last night we actually saw a bus returning from Zimbabwe. So this was actually the Zimbabwean company that now said they are going to send a bus to pick up the patients who had survived this crash, because many of them still wanted to return to their home countries. As you had rightfully mentioned, the minister said that this investigation becomes a little bit more complicated because all 3 drivers have actually died in this crash. So in terms of getting to the bottom of what exactly happened, that is going to be quite difficult for the team. But one thing that came out is who should be accountable, who should face consequences, because during that briefing yesterday we learned that this bus that was overloaded, carrying many more people that it should have been carrying, it was 60, it was carrying 91 people. It was stopped in this very province. It was stopped in Limpopo, but nobody picked up that the bus was overloaded. So we did ask those questions yesterday as to what consequences, where were the police, why was the bus not just intercepted there and then and not allowed to continue with that journey despite being overloaded. So the authorities are telling us that they will get to the bottom of that. They're going to find out exactly the location where the bus was stopped, and that will add to their ongoing investigations. But also speaking to some of the survivors yesterday, we got a sense of what happened in those final moments before that crash actually happened. And just take a listen to what one of the survivors had to say about that experience.
Right now, I can say that the main problem, what caused the accident, I think it was first is the bus was overloaded. Then the second, also the driver was overspeeding. So by the time we were approaching this area, he managed to turn the first turn. So the second turn, that's where the bus lost the balance. So by the time I was trying a driver to control the balance, and the problem it was a trailer on the base. So the trailer was full of luggage. So it doesn't manage to control the bus. From there now the bus turned. Yeah.
Here's a question. How do we fix the level of driving on our roads? Let's take this horror crash from Limpopo. 42 lives gone. There were entire families in that bus that were wiped out. So it started in Gqeberha and it was on its way to Zimbabwe. It picked up people in East London, went via Bloemfontein, but it was packed to beyond capacity. One survivor says it was so full he couldn't get a seat, and so he opted to sleep on the floor, in the aisles. Ironically, it's probably what saved him, because one moment he was sleeping on the floor and the next he was in an ambulance on his way to hospital. It's understood the drivers at some point were debating about what to do with the trailer. Now, the bus was so full with people who hadn't been home in years, some going as far up north as Malawi. So you can imagine how packed that trailer was if humans were sleeping on the floor. And then there was a debate between the drivers about the brakes. They were apparently failing. But this bus managed to pick up all these people, all of this luggage, and drive across the country with no one stopping them, and certainly no one in the bus thinking something could go wrong. Oh, you judge them, do you? How many of us have warned each other and our friends about, chomi, there's cops on the on-ramp, chomi, avoid this route, because, you know, we knew why our friends should avoid those roadblocks. Are we any better then? How are we going to fix this?
We are equally saddened by the road traffic accident that claimed the lives of our fellow citizens and others from the region. On Sunday, the 12th October, we were en route from South Africa. On behalf of the party and government, I once again express our heartfelt condolences to all the affected families and communities with this loss. May Almighty God give comfort to the bereaved families during this difficult time. I now invite the Politburo to rise as we observe a minute of silence in their remembrance. May the souls of the departed rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Has happened. We are told that this is quite a problematic stretch in this province, as we understand that about 4 years ago there was also a deadly crash that claimed lives of about 20 people. Now, according to the information that we have received, this is the biggest that they have seen. This, according to some of the community members of residents here, this is the worst road accident in recent memory for the province. Where we are seeing, you know, people devastated, really, especially those that know that some of their family members were traveling with this bus that we believe, was making its way from Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape to where it was headed to. We know that it has claimed lives of about 42 people.
Welcome back to Gistline. So the tragic Limpopo bus crash that's happened on October 12 has left South Africans heartbroken and angry. And the incident that killed about 43 people, it now exposed a very deep problem that goes far beyond bad roads. When rescue teams arrived at the scene, we're told that they found the ARVs, Bronclair bottles and other hospital medicines scattered all over the area. And these drugs are normally supplied to South African hospitals to help patients. But seeing them on a crashed bus heading towards Zimbabwe, it really shocked everyone. Then it now became clear that this was not an ordinary trip, that the bus was being used to smuggle stolen medicine out of South Africa. And the authorities believe that the medicines were taken from public hospitals and clinics, and they were secretly moved across borders to countries like Zimbabwe and Malawi. And some of the drugs, such as Bronclair, are often misused as street drugs, while other drugs like the ARVs, they are sold illegally for profit. Now, investigators, they say that this has been going on for a while, with people working together in what seems like a big organized group that steals from hospitals and they move the drugs through buses and trucks. So sadly, many of these operations are said to involve undocumented foreigners that take advantage of weak border controls to make money from South Africa's public health system. So instead of following the law, they use these illegal routes to steal what should be helping sick South Africans. And many South African citizens, they're not speaking out, saying that This tragedy is proof that the government must tighten its borders and also watch their hospital supplies more closely. So South Africans, they are tired of seeing their resources being stolen while hospitals complain about shortages, because people are now asking tough questions that how can hospital medicines disappear in such large amounts without anyone noticing? Don't they have people that are watching the storerooms? And why are undocumented foreigners allowed to move so freely with stolen goods? And this crash has opened the eyes of many who now see how corruption, poor border control, and illegal migration are putting the country at risk. Now, with the loss of lives and everything, we all know, they say that it's painful, which you all know. But South Africans, they hope that this tragedy will finally push the government to take stronger action, not just by fixing roads, but they should also crack down on illegal smugglers and protecting the country's healthcare system from the people who exploit it. Well, what do you think about this? Because a lot of people are saying South Africans should be sympathizing with lives that were lost instead of talking about these ARVs. So do you think this is legit? Their complaint is legit? Well, let me know what you think in the comment section. And if today is your first time joining my channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe.
The bus which got accident just after Polokwane, the DNC bus. This bus was heading from East London to Zimbabwe. So the driver who was driving from East London up to Polokwane, up to just after Polokwane, was driving nice. According to the eyewitnesses, he was driving perfectly nice. Then they exchanged the drivers. The one who took over from just after Polokwane is the one they say he was over speeding, maybe just because he was fresh, nobody knows. And they are saying that sometimes he exchanged lines to the right side, heading to the oncoming traffic. So others are thinking that maybe he was now trying to avoid the oncoming traffic. Then he managed to control his bus to the left side where he's supposed to drive. Then he failed to control the brakes. So it is somehow like brakes, failure, and overspeeding. Guys, why should we? Now we lost a lot of lives. Secondly, the bus was overloaded with something like over 30 extra passengers. The bus is supposed to carry just 60 passengers. Those people who manufactured this bus, they designed it to carry just 60 passengers. Guys, why? Now we lost unnecessary lives. Those brakes, they are designed to only carry just 60 passengers. We put more than 30 extra. Why, guys? Why? We continue to say why. Those who got injured, we just say, get well soon. Those who are crippled, we just say, God is in control. Those who lost their lives, we just say, may your souls rest in peace. Those who are still doing the same thing, please, guys, let's change and start doing the correct thing. Let's obey road rules. Let's obey government rules. Please.
May I pass my condolences to the two countries that have lost their loved ones, Zimbabwe and Malawi. Yes, the injuries were reported 38 injuries. Those are the people that are in hospital. There were 39 in number, but the baby, a 10-month-old baby passed on. The one who was lifted to hospital, she passed on also. So now they're still working on the scene, but 40 bodies already has been confirmed dead.
Absolutely difficult to, of course, fathom. Are you aware of where they were traveling to or the reasoning behind them being in and around that area?
They were coming from Port Elizabeth to Zimbabwe and Malawi.
So from PE to Zimbabwe and Malawi. So it's Zimbabwe and Malawi nationals, as you then stated. All right.
So far, yes.
Any other vehicles or any of those involved in the scene here? Are you able to share any of that?
No, there's no other vehicle. I'm sure the bus lost control. We don't know what can be the cause. It can be fatigue he was thinking of, or just mechanical fault that I made the bus to lose its control and went down to the ditch. We don't know for now. We're still waiting for the final report.
Yeah. Are you able to give us a time for when this perhaps also happened?
It happened in the afternoon, something like past 2. But until now, they're still at the scene.
Late afternoon yesterday.
Yes.
All right. Are you also in contact then at this point in time with the embassies or even nationals out of Zimbabwe as well as Malawi to get kind of a confirmation of the people who have passed in this situation and even some of the injuries?
We have not yet interacted with any country so far because they're still at the scene. And again, we do have the list of the people that were inside the bus, but we are not going to confirm that number because the number says 64. And now when we start counting, the head count is no more 64. So that's why I'm saying we'll be telling the whole story after everything has been done.
Bafowethu Tlhakantswiki Mawaza a suira la mabane ka di 12 October ko N1 mo highway just next to Mosina ko Limpopo. So bus ne tshwere passenger tsa maZimbabwe le batho ba loreng ba tlha ko Malawi da so e tletse il on route e tsama ya overturn da so ya bolaya batho ba ba more than 42 including ngwana wa 10 months of age. So tsilela mabane no sa tsamaye ne ba etswaletse ne le emergency cruise fela hona le ma firefighter hona le dipodisha da so hona le di ambulance hona le mortuary ile tlhakatlhakano ile Mawaza hu shana foil fela e grey ba khurupeditse batho ba le reng ba lose moya wa bona mo accidenting eo. So ba believer hore driver or na driver na lapile is due to fatigue na lapile mola na sa concentrate mo tseleng ke driver loreng na tsamaya ha ikhutsa a kra enough resting time hore a boele batho ba le pila a le fresh. So hape le ditso driver at the end there cause accident batho ba baya ba tlhokofetse ke mathata ke Mawaza bafowethu. Let's arrive alive for more updates ke tlo le keep updated. Danko.